Imagine standing at the edge of a massive mountain, staring up at its towering peak. It looks impossible to climb, too high, too dangerous, too overwhelming. Most people would turn back, convinced that the mountain is too big. But the truth is, the greatest mountains in life aren't made of stone. They're made of fear, doubt, and the limits we set on ourselves. And faith, the simple, unshakable belief in what's possible, has the power to move those mountains. Today, I want to tell you a story that shows how faith, even when it feels small, can change everything. It's not just about believing in something bigger than yourself. It's about refusing to give up, even when the odds are stacked against you. Years ago, in a small village at the base of a great mountain, lived a young man named Arif. He wasn't rich or powerful. Most people considered him ordinary, just another face in the crowd. But Arif carried something most people overlooked, an unshakable belief that no matter how impossible life seemed, there was always a way forward. One summer, tragedy struck the village. A landslide from the mountain blocked the only road that connected them to the nearest town. This road was their lifeline. Without it, food supplies couldn't come in, children couldn't go to school, and no one could reach the hospital in emergencies. The villagers were devastated. They pleaded for help, but days turned into weeks and no one came. The mountain stood in their way like an immovable wall. Most people gave up hope. They sat in silence, waiting for someone else to fix the problem. But not Arif. He picked up a simple shovel, walked to the base of the landslide, and started digging. The villagers laughed at him. "Arif, are you crazy? Do you really think you can move a mountain with a shovel? You'll waste your whole life here." But Arif didn't stop. Day after day, under the burning sun and through cold nights, he kept digging. He told himself, "I may not move the whole mountain, but with faith, I can make a path. And one path is enough to bring hope back." Imagine the scene: one man, sweating, tired, hands blistered, standing before a pile of rocks that stretched higher than houses. It seemed ridiculous. Yet every strike of his shovel echoed louder than the villagers' doubts. His faith wasn't just in God or in luck. It was in the belief that persistence, fueled by faith, creates miracles. Weeks passed. Slowly, a small passage began to appear. The villagers, at first mocking him, grew curious. One by one, they began to join him. Some brought tools, some carried water, others cleared stones. Soon, what seemed like a foolish dream became a collective mission. Months later, that blocked road was cleared not by machines, not by officials, but by ordinary villagers who followed one man's faith. This story reminds us of something powerful. Faith isn't about instantly removing every problem in your life. Faith is about taking the first step, even when the mountain looks impossible to climb. Faith is what keeps you digging when everyone else is telling you to quit. Think about it. How many times have you faced a mountain? Maybe not one made of rock and soil, but of challenges, a failed exam, a broken relationship, financial struggles, health issues, or simply the fear that you're not good enough. In those moments, it's easy to give up, to say, "This is too big for me." But faith whispers something different. Faith says, take one step, lift one stone. Believe, even when you can't see the end. There's a saying, faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. A mustard seed is tiny, almost invisible in the palm of your hand. Yet, with even that much faith, you can overcome the impossible. Why? Because faith changes the way you see the mountain. Instead of seeing an obstacle, you start seeing an opportunity. Instead of feeling powerless, you begin to feel guided. And that shift in perspective is what gives you the strength to keep going. So, let me ask you this. What's your mountain today? Is it fear, doubt, the voice inside your head telling you, you can't do it? That voice is lying. You can. You're stronger than you think. You have within you the same unshakable faith that carried Arif through his journey. And if you dare to act on it, even in small steps, you'll see doors open where walls once stood. When the road was finally cleared, the village celebrated. They were no longer trapped. Children laughed again. The sick could reach hospitals, and traders returned with goods. Life came back. And when people asked Arif how he did it, he simply said, I never tried to move the whole mountain. I just believed that with faith, I could move one stone at a time. And that was enough. What a lesson for all of us. You don't have to solve your entire life today. You don't need to see the full picture. All you need is the faith to move one stone, one step, one moment at a time. That's how mountains are moved. Faith isn't passive. Faith is action. It's courage. It's the quiet decision to keep going when the world tells you to stop. No matter how high the mountain looks, don't run away. Face it. Believe. Take that first step, even if it's shaky. Because faith doesn't just move mountains, it moves you. And when you move, the mountain has no choice but to shift. Before we end, remember this. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary started with faith. Not with certainty, not with guarantees, but with faith. Your mountain may be different from Arif's, but your faith can be just as powerful. Don't underestimate it. Use it, nurture it, trust it, because the moment you believe, you've already begun to climb. Now it's your turn. What mountain are you ready to face? Share your thoughts in the comments side. Love to hear your story. And if this message touched you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that faith still moves mountains. And of course, if you want more stories that inspire, motivate, and remind you of your true strength, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and join our community. Remember, faith may not always move the mountain overnight, but it will always move you forward. And that, my friend, is where miracles begin.